why I gave this video this title, it's because it gives room, Christianity gives room for naivety and stupidity. Christians are the only people that they believe that God will supply all their needs according to his riches in glory, and they don't work. Seriously, these things I'm saying right now sounds stupid or sounds underrated or sounds mild, but that's the truth. Christians are the people who don't believe in hard work. They don't believe in investing to get returns. They believe that they are going to pray and God is going to do wonders or do miracles for them. See, guys, I have a very hardworking mom, and my mom prays a lot. My mom is one of the people I know who prays the most, but my mom puts in a lot of work to achieve the results she gets. Some people may see my mom or deem her as a successful businesswoman. Yes, I say my mom is a very successful businesswoman, but I would say that the work she puts in, you cannot even imagine. You cannot imagine. I've seen my mom labored and work for years, and the same thing she has been doing from when I was like 5 years, in fact, since I was born, is the same thing she still does now. She doesn't. The first time I went with my mom to go and buy goods, my dear, I came back to the house, I could not move. I was like, I slept on the bed like a dead person because I was so, my body was broken. Tiredness is not even the word. Tiredness doesn't come close to it. The first day I went to the market to buy with my mom. So behind every successful person, you cannot even imagine the kind of hard work they put in to get the results that they get. But Christians are the set of people that they believe on not going to school. They just believe on maybe venturing into business with maybe less training. Christians are the people that will not stay in their August business and learn how to manage that business. When they stay there for 2 weeks, they'll be like, oh, I already know this business, I want to go and start my own, believing that God is going to help them. See, God is not a magician. I always say this in my videos. God is not a magician. Christians are very, very naive. Very, very naive. And I call that kind of naivety stupidity. Yes, that's my first point. The second point is Christians are hypocrites and they pretend a lot. Christians pretend a lot. See, this set of people, they are the people that are smiling with you, but they are gossiping in their hearts. They are saying, hello sister, you are welcome, the Lord be with you, the grace of God be with you. But behind your back, if you hear the kind of things they say about you, please don't trust anything a Christian is telling you. Well, not to say that they aren't good Christians. They are good Christians. I, for one, am a good Christian. I think I'm one. But I don't want to paint myself as a saint. I'm not the saint, but I think I'm a good Christian. I think I'm a very honest person. So far, yeah. But Christians in general, Christians, be careful, please. Run, no. They gossip a lot. Christians gossip a lot. They are full of hypocrisy. A lot of Christians, they will tell you that don't fornicate, but behind closed doors they are doing fornication. It's a Christian who will tell you that don't lie, but the kind of lies that come out of their mouths, you will not believe it. Everything happens in Christianity, seriously. Like, sometimes, now don't ask me about other religions. Yes, I know some people will come for me in the comment section and be telling me, what about Muslims lie and other religions. I don't care about other religions. I'm talking about Christianity because this is the faith I know, and this is the faith which I was introduced to from a young age. I know nothing about Hinduism, or I know nothing about Muslims. So don't ask me about Muslims. Although if you come for me in my comment section, anyways, I've not gotten to the level of blocking. Don't worry, time will reach where I go block. But if there is negative energy in my comment section, be sure I'm gonna sweep you out. And if I need to block you, I'll do the necessary. Now, the third reason I said Christianity is disadvantageous is that we hide behind God to commit evil. Okay, let me say this. I've actually lived with a pastor, a man of God, who preaches on the altar of God. This man, in fact, he's one of the best preachers I knew at that time. In fact, he's not the best I know now, but at that time he was one of the best I knew in our church. In our church, precisely, at that time. But the kind of things that I found this man doing was crazy. Not just him, even at that time, youth leaders and all in that particular church. It was crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I cannot even begin to start saying the kind of atrocities that this pastor was doing under my very own eyes. I don't want to call his name. He knows himself if he's watching this video. He knows himself if he's watching this video. So Christians are the people who hide behind God. They hide under the name of God to commit evil. They will tell you that the grace of God is going to cover you. They always talk about the grace of God, the grace of God. Yes, we know about the grace of God, but the Bible also says, Paul was asking a question, I think in Romans, I've forgotten. He says, shall we continue to live in sin that grace may abound? Shall we continue to live in sin that grace may abound? So yes, we know that there is a grace of God, but then, my dear, don't use the grace of God to cover your evil because you think that God has given us grace. Okay, my next point, I think is the fourth point. Christians are the set of people that their minds are so closed. Now, I came across a video, I think by Being Real George. He was saying something like, was it about Pastor Adeboye or was it about Pastor W.F. Kumuyi? One of them. I think, okay, yes, it should be about Pastor W.F. Kumuyi, where maybe in those days, they were talking about him and they were saying in those days, they don't use television, they don't use telephones, they don't use all these modern accessories and gadgets. And today, now they use televisions and all. And they were still talking about they were trying to talk about trousers and all. They were trying to maintain that the woman should not wear certain kind of clothes and all. I've forgotten what the storyline really looked like, but I think it was surrounding this subject. So one thing I wanted to say is that it's okay that maybe at a particular point in your life or your Christian journey, you feel like this thing is not allowed. This thing does not glorify God. It's okay for you to feel that way. But anyways, all of us know that nobody's deputy Jesus. Nobody knows it all. Like, so at some point in your Christian walk with God, when you realize that your ideology or what you thought was wrong, there is nothing wrong with you to come out and say that, hey, this thing I thought this is how it was, but now I know better. See how this technology helps us. See how TV can help us go viral and more people will be reaching out more souls and winning more souls for God. This was my own thought, but now you see things have changed. I don't reason like this anymore. We are all humans and we can make a certain decision at a particular time in our life thinking that that is the best decision. But as we grow further, we come to realize that maybe that decision was not the best. That is why we talk about maturity. There's maturity that comes with age. There is also maturity that comes with experience. So guys, I don't find why we have to beat ourselves and beat ourselves a lot just because we made a bad decision or we took a wrong resolution before that. At this point in our life, we feel that that thing I said was not valid, but now I'm ready to upgrade. There's nothing wrong with it. We are all humans. Even me who is talking to you here, tomorrow I may watch one of my videos that I said maybe 1 year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years later, and I'm like, I wish I knew better. Now I know better. So guys, Christians are so closed-minded. We are not open-minded. There are still some people till today that feel that if you wear, short skirts and all, like you're a daughter of Jezebel, or if you wear trousers, you're a daughter of Jezebel, or if you wear jewelries and accessories, you're a daughter of Jezebel. I don't condemn anybody's belief. If that's what you believe, it's okay, but I'm calling on Christians to be more open-minded and stop condemning others. If you think for you God is convicting you not to wear certain things, good and fine, don't wear them, but don't condemn another person or think that this person is of the devil because the person wears these things. Also, on the other hand, I would like to also stress on the point of dressing decently or modestly. Anyways, I think all these things, these definitions of modesty and decency, is all on the person. But whatever the case is, I'm one person who doesn't judge anybody, and I think every Christian should not be judging others, because sometimes, so when we look at cultural differences, the Muslims dress different from the Christians. Arabs dress different from Americans. So all these things also play a factor and a role. So I don't think people should be condemned because of the way they decide to dress. Okay? So Christians, please, let's become more open-minded in 2022 moving forward. So the next point is the love of prayer and less work. I think I've actually explained this when I spoke about naivety and stupidity. Christians are the only people who put in less work and they expect to get maximum results because they are hiding behind prayer and thinking that prayer can solve everything. Few days ago, I was watching a video on this guy's channel. What's his name? He's a motivational guy like this. I've forgotten his name. So on this video, I think if I find his name, I'm going to put his name here and maybe even the video to give him the credits. So I think on this video, he was trying to stress on this same point which I'm talking about, and he showed the video of one little boy who went and was praying because he wanted to win the Nigerian Got Talent. Is it Nigerian Got Talent? I think so. He wanted to win Nigerian Got Talent, and he went and was praying instead for him to go and be practicing maybe some dance, and he was there praying. See, when I watched this stuff, I laughed because even though I was laughing, I felt bad in my heart, because I could imagine the kind of family he's coming from and what kind of doctrines he has been indoctrinated to believe, because all these things are from home. This is what he has seen his elder ones or his older ones do. They believe so much in prayers and they don't put in the hard work, and there is no one who guided him. But I don't think he was such a small boy though. I think he was in his 20s. What did he say? Maybe 20 or 22, something like that. But Christians, please wake up. Prayer is not everything. Prayer is super duper important in the life of a believer. That's what keeps you awake. That's what keeps your fire burning. But at the same time, understand the season of prayer and understand the season of hard work. These are two different things. No one can take the place of the other. I've said my own. Okay, the next thing I will talk about is tithes, seeds, and offering. Tithes, seeds, and offering. Christians have carried this matter of tithing and sowing of seed and offering on their head. They have carried it on their head. They believe that when they sow seed to a man of God, the blessings of that man of God will surely follow them. I was that person who believed so much in sowing of seed. I think this also came from my own upbringing. I believed in sowing so much of a seed because I believed in tapping grace. Now, is there anything wrong in tapping grace? Of course, there's nothing wrong in tapping grace. Okay, I'm sorry to this to you, Mom, but I'm sorry. It's just for learning purposes, and I think we all are still learning, and I'll just go ahead to say it. So there was a time I really needed money so much, and I was damn broke, and I called my mom and I was like, Mom, I need money. Can you save my life? And she was like, I don't have money. She doesn't have money. A few days later, she told me that she has gone and sown seed in church on my behalf. And man, I was so angry, because I was like, the money you used to sow seed for prosperity for me, I think was enough for you to send to me, and pray on the money. Why not pray on the money and say, this money I'm sending to my daughter, God, open doors for her, bless her, let this money be a point of contact to her. That one go make more sense. Now, nobody say I did my house, I no get food to eat. You go to sow seed for church. I've seen families that have problems in their house. They don't solve their problem. They have financial problems in church, in their house. Sorry, they have financial problems in their house. But they in church they call for money, maybe to build a church building or to do a project in church. And this same couple that have monetary issues in their house go to church and give seed in the name of, I don't know what to call it, in the name of blessing from God or something. This is crazy. It's crazy. I see Christians doing this a lot. Christians don't have food in their house, but they are paying tithes. They don't have stuffs to eat, but they are paying tithes. I've had issues with my mom. Because my mom is a strong Christian, a strong believer. So we always have these clashes sometimes, because sometimes the things I believe, she doesn't believe in them, or I think it will take her some time for her to understand. Mom, I'm still sorry I'm doing this to you, but you're my greatest role model. I learned a lot from you. So I've had a lot of clashes with my mom on this paying of tithe issue. I cannot go and pay tithe in church when I'm hungry. Brothers and sisters, are you feeling me? I cannot carry my last money because it's my tithe and I go and pay in church when I'm hungry. Or I carry my last money because it's tithe and I don't pay house rent. I say it's tithe, I'm going to give God. It's true. Sometimes if you are led, please open your ears and hear me very well. If you are led by the Spirit of God to do it, go ahead and do it. But if you are not led, if you go ahead and carry your house rent to go and pay tithes in church, you are on your own. No. Okay, when the landlord will come and giving you basbos, Precious, don't say Precious did not tell you. Okay, the next point I'm going to talk about is no clear understanding of a walk or journey with God. Nowadays, it's very hard to find a believer, a true believer who understands their journey, who understands their season, who knows where they are with God. It's very, very hard. I tell you, most Christians today are, I go to church, I come back from church, it's Sunday, I go for Bible studies, I go for men meeting, youth meeting, I come back to church, I teach my children the way of the Lord. It's very hard to find Christians nowadays who understand their journey and their walk with God, who know exactly their calling and what God has called them into. Now, when we talk about calling, most people are feeling that calling is all about being a prophet, being a pastor, evangelist, and all of that. No, you mustn't be in all of these things. This thing I'm doing here on YouTube is a calling. It's my gifting. God blessed me. I know how to speak. So my calling, my gifting in this sense is for me to expose these kind of things which are happening in the Christendom, and it's not correct. So guys, calling is not restricted only to pastorhood or prophethood and all of that. So you can actually sit down and try to understand your walk and your journey with God. Every believer should have this. Every believer should have their own journey, should have their own walk with God, their own testimony with God. Okay, having said that, then I'll go to the next point, which is the 8th point, which says that they see God as a miracle ATM machine. I think most Christians are guilty of this. We think God is our miracle ATM machine. That is, whenever we need a miracle from God, He's an ATM. Like, God, you must give me money. God, you must do this. God, you must do that. What about the one God has asked you to do? Have you done it? Tell me, have you done it? Just tell me now. The one God asked you to do, did you do it? He say you should pray in the morning. Thou shalt serve me with all their heart, all their might, and all their strength. Are you serving God with all your might, all your strength? When nobody is looking at you, when nobody is seeing you, what are you doing? Tell me. So please, from today, we should not only see God as a miracle ATM machine. Okay, God is more than just a miracle ATM machine. He's a father, He's a friend, He's a counselor, He's a teacher, He's a helper. God, there is so much in Him than just a healer and a miracle worker. Okay, the next point is less influence. Christians have less influence. Like I said, they believe so much in prayers. So because of this, maybe some Christians, I've found some people who actually dropped out of school because they said they want to do the work of God. Because they want to do the work of God, they actually dropped out of school, guys. Just sit down for a moment to think about this. Does this make any sense? Does this make any sense? And because of this, we are less influential. Man, Christianity should be the kind of Christianity that, when they say Christians, we come out with our full chests. We come out with our degrees. We come out with our master's degrees. We come out with our certificates. Okay? We come out with authority. When they are calling for Christians with arts, when we talk about arts, when they talk about social life, music, we are coming out. When they talk about education, we are coming out. When they talk about this, Christians are coming out. Christians should not just be mediocre. How do I put this? Mediocre, like mediocrity is killing us. Like, Christians don't have influence. We need to build ourselves intellectually, in business, we should just gain influence in whatever aspect, whatever place where we are. We should not be limited. Poverty should not be associated with Christians. I find out that most people who actually serve God are because they are poor. There was a time I put on my status, I said, if God blesses you with everything which you want, everything which you are asking God for, if He actually gives you those things now, will you still serve God? Will He still be your ride or die? So please, Christians, let's upgrade. Let's not be poverty-stricken Christians. Let's be richly stricken Christians. Okay? Okay, I think we are on our last point today. Christians are less logical and realistic. Yes, Christians are less logical and realistic. Christians are the people who believe that, okay, what examples can I give? They believe that now let me say something. I'm not encouraging living with a guy, okay? But sometimes a situation can make you to be in the house of a guy at a particular time. But when a Christian hears that, this girl is living with a guy, or it can even be a guy living with a girl, whatever the situation may be. Christians are the only people that they will have a heart attack. The only thing that comes to their mind is okay, the only thing that comes to their mind is sex. They don't believe that two people can actually be in the same room and nothing happens. Well, hold on. I'm not encouraging anybody to go and live in any boy's house or any boy to go and live in any girl's house. Hold on. I'm just saying that sometimes Christians are not logical. We don't adjust to the situations in life. We are less logical in our decision making. This is just an example, and it's the quickest example that can come to my mind right now, because I'm not such a crazy person in my real life. Yeah, so Christians are not usually very, very realistic. Like, we don't ask ourselves the deep questions, and we don't tell ourselves the truth. We don't. We like to hide behind God and do things like this, narrow. It used to tire me sometimes. So when they tire me sometimes when I see them. Anyway, guys, I've given you my 10 points that says it is disadvantageous to be a Christian. Now, I'm going to say, not to say it is disadvantageous to be a Christian. It is all these things that we do that makes these things disadvantageous. By all means, I like to say that there is no disadvantage to be a Christian. If you do the right things and the way it is supposed to be, there is no disadvantage of being a Christian. But if you don't do the right things, I tell you that it's going to be more disadvantageous for you to be a Christian. It was better that you remain an atheist, maybe not believing in the God, or maybe believing in another doctrine or something. I don't know how others work, because maybe it's a study I'm going to do later in my life. I don't know. But as a Christian, I can only talk for the Christians. It's not disadvantageous to be a Christian, because there is no disadvantage to be a Christian. But that is only if you do things the right way, because God know they play ojoro. God know they play ojoro. And I like to say that, yes, because God does not play ojoro, and God is also not a magician. He's not a magician. So guys, we've come to the end of this video. Once again, I'd like to remind you all to subscribe to my channel. Let's get going, and hopefully I'll give you guys more interesting contents as the days goes by. Please also don't forget to comment, share your thoughts in the comment section below. Give me video ideas. What would you like me to share on next? I'll be happy to talk about something which someone really wants me to talk about. Share my thoughts or my take on it. Okay, so see you guys in the next video. To have a wonderful year or week or whatever it is. Mwah.